Namaste and welcome everybody to the Vivek Katha YouTube channel. This is our very first video, and in this video we bring to you the preface to the first edition of the life of Swami Vivekananda by his Eastern and Western disciples. Allow us first to give to you this preface, or rather certain sections of it that we have considered to be of extreme importance, before delving deeper into the life of the great seer of modern India, Swami Vivekananda. The preface to the first edition starts hence, and here I quote, "It is now 10 years since Swami Vivekananda entered final illumination. It is 50 years since his personality was ushered upon earth. It is therefore befitting that these events should be conterminous with and celebrated by the publishing of the life he lived. For years it has been the desire of the Eastern disciples at the Advaita Ashrama to publish an authoritative biography of their teacher, so as to present to the world at large and to posterity the vision, the ideas, the work and the greatness of that personality which this Swami's life embodied. Much has been written in this work in the way of interpretation, for many of the facts in this Swami's life, without explanation of the Hindu religious and social ideals, and without some reference to the psychology of the mystical consciousness, would confuse the casual reader and might even seem improbable. The world knows the Swami as a giant intellect, a great scholar and orator, a patriotic Hindu and a powerful preacher of the Vedanta. But this is knowing only one phase of this many-sided genius. Even to those who knew him personally, the Swami, both as a lad and as a man, was too complex a character to be readily understood. He was a man of original thoughts and numerous moods, each a world in itself, and when any single one of them came upon him, he was so intense that for the time being he would identify himself solely with the particular state of mind above all others. Thus, it happened that many persons saw him from widely varying angles and spoke of him chiefly in the sense in which they personally understood him. This accounts for the many different presentations of the Swami. Efforts have been made in this work to present the Swami in all his moods and varied illumination, so as to reveal the man as he was. The first volume presents the narrative of his personality until his 24th year and the training he underwent at the feet of his master for the attainment of spiritual insight and realization. It takes into account the theme around which the Swami's life is drawn, the theme of Hinduism, its setting, its basis and its structure. It reveals the growth of a gigantic mind through modern agnosticism into complete saintship. It presents the character of the Swami's master in the light in which the Swami himself understood him. The reader will become familiar with the Swami in the first volume as Naren or Narendra, the name by which he was known both to the master and to his brother disciples and friends, as his proper name was Narendranath Datta. The first volume shows how Naren, having become de-Hinduized, became re-Hinduized through his perception of the synthesis of Hinduism as lived and realized by his master. For the sake of a clear understanding of the process by which this was effected, several chapters of the first volume are devoted to the elucidation of the Hindu religions and philosophic consciousness. One sees in the first volume the man, the saint, and the prophet in the making. The publishers are well aware that this great life has been lived too recently for the public to gauge fully the importance and the possibilities it represents. They know that many of the statements and interpretations concerning the Swami recorded in this work may not meet with universal acceptance, but they are firmly convinced that time will substantiate their value. It matters not in what light the present generation, by reading this life, may regard the Swami, be it as a teacher, patriot, prophet, or saint. It matters not whether they accept his teachings and his ideas, only partially or in their entirety. But all will have to admit that in his life there was made manifest a tremendous force for the moral and spiritual welfare and uplifting of humanity, irrespective of caste, creed, nationality, or time. And that, as such, it commends itself for careful study and reflection. Those who have produced this work are the Swami's outspoken followers. Nay, more than that, they are his disciples and co-workers, representing as they do the brotherhood of the Advaita Ashrama founded by the Swami himself. They have made every endeavor to give a true and comprehensive revelation of their master. They fully realize that theirs is an enormous undertaking and responsibility. They realize also how difficult it is to bring the man into the narrow compass of a biography. That is true of every great life, but it is particularly true of Swami Vivekananda. The limitations of biographical treatment and description have been constantly before them. On the other hand, even the telling of this great life is sufficiently inspiring. As of itself, it affords a revelation. They earnestly believe that the more the life and teachings of the Swami are made known, the more will the spiritual perspective of humanity be widened, and the more will the Hindus take up the methods set forth by him for the reorganization of their dharma in consonance with modern needs and modern problems. They therefore make no apologies as to their understanding of him or for the method in which they have presented him. They have been actuated by the spirit of discipleship. In sending out this work into the world, they are guided by the hope that many a seeker after truth, having a deeper knowledge of this great life, may be helped to solve the problems of existence, and having an entree into a world of richer spiritual insight, may be inspired to follow his example, to travel upon that path of righteousness which the Swami pointed out in the words of the Vedas to be Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitayacha, for the salvation of one's own soul and for the good of the world. The Eastern and Western disciples, Advaita Ashrama, Mayavati, Himalayas, the 4th of July, 1912. End quote. So this was the beautiful preface to the first edition of the life of Swami Vivekananda by his Eastern and Western disciples. We present this to you so that when we delve deeper into his life, we have a basis upon which the story of his life from different angle is presented to us. If you appreciate this initiative, do care to let us know in the comment section below. We at Vivek Katha seek your blessings and your good wishes. Our efforts at Vivek Katha will be to make you think and to give you a very basic idea about the life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. And we request you at all times to refer to the books published by the Advaita Ashrama or Udbodhan if you read in Bangla to get a better glimpse of his life and teachings. We in no way claim to be any expert about his teachings or his ideas or his spiritual philosophy. This initiative of ours comes from a place of love, appreciation, and reverence towards the Swami. Having said that, we thank you for listening and or watching this. Hari Om. Jai Thakur Shri Ramakrishna Paramahansa Deva, Jai Ma Sharada Devi, Jai Swami Vivekananda.